If you noticed a haze hanging over Colorado, whew, look at your screen if you're not right now. Pretty crazy. You are not alone. Wildfire smoke from Canada and the Pacific Northwest is making its way across our state. Right now, we want to take a live look out over Denver, and we are certainly seeing that haze just sit right across the typical gorgeous Denver skyline. Can't make out the mountains at all out here. The smoke has triggered several air quality alerts lasting well into the afternoon today. Thank you so much for joining us on 9 News at Noon. I'm Erica Lopez with our 9 News Weather Impact Team meteorologist Keely Chalmers. And today we actually declared our first Weather Impact Day because of these conditions, that really intense wildfire smoke affecting our area.
Yeah, we're certainly just head outdoors. You can see it's certainly causing an impact, especially for folks in those sensitive groups. Might want to think about limiting time outdoors. That smoke is going to linger around throughout the day into tomorrow. Now we're looking at slight improvements tomorrow. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But again, out there right now, you can clearly see that haze. And if you're outdoors doing any type of strenuous exercise, you just might want to think about limiting some of that. So here is how our Weather Impact Day is shaping up. It is going to last all day long. This smoke sticking around throughout the afternoon. And again, this is from wildfire smoke up to the north. So we're talking about fine particulate matter in the air. And that is sometimes can be unhealthy and certainly dangerous in sometimes to breathe in. So what you're going to need to do is, because we have increased levels of pollution out there, want to think about limiting that gas-powered vehicle driving, as well as limiting some of those outdoor activities, especially the strenuous one. We talk about that air quality alert in effect for the entire eastern regions of the state due to that high level of ozone, as well as that wildfire smoke and fine particulate matter in the atmosphere. Here's a look at that smoke forecast as we head into this afternoon. You can clearly see it moving down, the heaviest smoke there in the northeast corner of the state. And we're going to continue to see that starting to dissipate and move out as we head into the middle part of the week. Temperatures quite warm as well. We're looking at 70s and 80s across the plains. So your weather headlines on this Weather Impact Day: smoky skies sticking around throughout the day into tomorrow. Warmer temperatures, we're talking about 90s all week long. So stagnant air out there, hot air. We got that smoke in place. We do have some isolated storms in the forecast, but not until Friday and Saturday. We'll talk about how those will impact us coming up in your full forecast in just a bit.
Keely, thank you. The director of the U.S. Secret Service announced this morning that she is stepping down from her job. Kimberly Cheadle was facing calls to resign after the attempted assassination of former President Trump earlier this month. In a congressional hearing yesterday, Cheadle admitted her agency failed. She has held the job since August of 2022. Cheadle announced her departure in an email that she sent out to staff. Secret Service Deputy Director Ronald Rowe has now been tapped as acting director. Vice President Kamala Harris has not been running for president for very long, but she already has enough delegates to secure the Democratic nomination. This is according to a CNN delegate estimate, as well as an AP delegate survey. Harris is not officially the nominee just yet. That will not happen until a roll call is held by the party. They're planning to hold that by August 7th. No one has publicly stepped up to challenge Harris since President Joe Biden announced he was leaving the race on Sunday. So with no opposition, the Democratic race is effectively over. Meanwhile, Harris's campaign has already raised a lot of money in the 24 hours after President Biden announced his departure from the presidential race. Harris saw an outpouring of support in the form of cash. Her team says the $81 million raised is the largest single-day total in U.S. history. Overall, the Harris campaign says 888,000 grassroots donations were made. More than 500,000 made their first contribution to a campaign this year. MSU Denver Chair of Political Science Robert Preuss says the influx of donations speaks to the excitement around Harris's candidacy.
Big donors are thinking strategically who can win. Small donors think a little bit there, but also really are thinking about excitement. And I think that does really speak to this pent-up need for someone that the Democratic base can get excited about.
Now, while that support has come in droves financially, Preuss says it's still unclear if it will translate to the ballot box. Meanwhile, tomorrow, President Joe Biden will deliver a national address on his decision to drop out of the race. The president is among hundreds of Democratic officials who have announced their support for Vice President Harris. Biden is set to speak at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. An interstate in Aurora is the site of a disturbing trend. Aurora police have caught dozens of drivers going 100 miles per hour on 225. From January 1st to July 5th, Aurora police have been called out to investigate a total of 268 accidents along 225. This stretch of road is a major thoroughfare that connects you to I-70 or to I-25. Aurora police say it's probably one of the busiest in the metro area, and during rush hour, they see some of the crashes, some of them deadly.
You're sharing the road with everybody else, and you're putting everybody else at risk. I know a lot of folks go, it's just speeding, it's not that big a deal. Speed is a major factor in our fatal crashes. Folks don't recognize the fact that when you're driving that kind of speed, your time to perceive a problem on the road is reduced, your ability to react to it is reduced. So if something goes wrong, you don't have that time to react, and you're going to end up crashing, and you're going to end up hurting other people.
The department is hoping to get more officers out there to patrol the area, especially with the number of tickets and crashes that they're seeing. The days of wearing leather made from animals could be coming to an end. Researchers here in Denver are making wearable leather out of something we can grow. This alternative leather is being grown right now inside a lab at CU Denver. Researchers are growing mushrooms to make a mushroom paste of sorts that then becomes a leather substitute. Now, once complete, it looks and acts just like animal-derived leather.
So basically, this leather is a lot more sustainable. It will disintegrate in a matter of months, and it will be very beneficial for your garden, for instance.
The mushrooms can be used for much more than just clothing. While the applications are numerous, its impact on our climate remains surprisingly small. You can take a look inside the lab to explore all the different uses on our website, 9news.com.